Hey guys, Matt here. So let's go over my portfolio update. And you can see that I am doing better, considerably better than last week. Gevo had a really good run up since Monday. Now, today it was up as high as 4%, but it tapered back down. But still, I mean, I went from, what was it, $5, touching $5, almost breaking my almost breaking the puts I sold for a strike price of 5, and now we're at $6. Now I am not expecting this to continue. Like the way these stocks have been going, like it could go to 650 or it could go right back down to 5. I mean, either way, I wouldn't be surprised at all. We're currently holding a total portfolio value of $57,784.04, and we are up 33.55%. Like I said, much better. Heck, I remember back in January when, valuations were they're still sky high, but when valuations on, all the stocks were sky high, especially SPAC stocks and riskier stocks like penny stocks, and everyone was buying penny stocks because to the moon, the market's not crashing. And now, like, I keep asking myself every day if, when I'm buying these stocks that are down, if I'm just catching a falling knife. So I guess, it's a buyer's market, to the right stocks. So let's take a look at my moves. And just like the title of this video says, I've been buying AT&T all month. I've been buying AT&T pretty heavy, and I've been buying some Gevo this month as well. As a matter of fact, like I said earlier, I have 2 puts that I'm selling on Gevo, which means if the strike price drops below $5, and then the premium. So I think it's like $4.55, $4.65, based on the premium that, I sold the puts at. If it goes down that much, I mean, I'm going to own 200 more shares. But if it doesn't, then I'll be happy to just sit here with the $86 I collected and move on. I mean, AT&T, now I've made several videos, which you can watch here, which I talk all about AT&T. So I'm not going to go too in-depth as to my feelings on it. But I think AT&T is a fairly strong buy for the long term. Although, I mean, I will admit that it's a pain in the ass to own. Like AT&T has been, I mean, despite what you think about AT&T, especially with the fact it's, sudden changes, how, as far as selling off its warrant and media assets and eventually slashing its dividend in half. But what some people forget is that, I mean, it's a pretty strong stock. I mean, despite everything. So it's approaching its 52-week lows, which is a very strong buy situation for me. As far as its valuations, like it's got a forward PE of 8.42, which, it makes it even more and more attractive. The PE ratio, it's a little high, but it's falling. But for a value / dividend stock, that's fine with me. All the other valuations look fine. Not only that, but I mean, it is still a very strong financial performer. I mean, just look at this year over year. We're talking 40.9 billion in revenue last year compared to 44 billion in revenue this quarter. That's pretty phenomenal, actually. And if we take a look at its net income, 1.2 billion last year to 1.57 billion this year. Like, despite what you think about this stock, this is a beast of a performer. And some news just came out in which AT&T was selected by the Department of State for a $609 million contract, up to $609 million contract over the next 5 years in order to provide telecommunication support to 270 plus diplomatic posts worldwide. Like, AT&T won that contract. So this is money on the table as long as AT&T fulfills its end of the bargain. So like I said in previous videos, AT&T is in the process of selling off all of its media assets. So once it's said and done over the next couple of years, AT&T is going to slim down, and it's trying to correct itself from all of the, let's just say, less than intelligent acquisitions it's made since 2015 or 2016. And it's trying to go back to just a simple, 5G wireless internet company, which is, now that I've thought about it, is a fantastic move in my book, because that makes it a more agile company, and it gives it the ability to focus on what it does best. AT&T has, potentially could have the best 5G network in the country. And it's gonna use this money from, divesting all of its assets to paying down its debt And current AT&T shareholders will also own the new company that Warner Media is going to be. So if you like Warner Media, you still can own that future company. And so AT&T is going to pay down its debt. And honestly, for the next year or so, this stock price is probably not going to budge too much. It's probably going to stay this low, which is why I'm going to keep buying heavy all this time. And when the merger, I guess the divestiture finally happens, and AT&T finally just becomes just a 5G and, you know, wireless and internet company, I mean, the stock price is either going to shoot up, in which case all these shares I buy are going to appreciate in value. It's going to stay the same, which means I'll keep buying more shares, or the stock price is going to drop, so that even though AT&T's dividend payout may be cut in half, I'll be able to load up on some more shares. So me buying heavy in AT&T, from my perspective, it's a win-win-win in my book. Buying in the Gevo, like, that's a no-brainer for me. Now, if you know from my previous videos and by looking at Gevo yourself, you know that right now it's not performing very well. Not at all. Which is why the share price is down as much as it is. But that's a buying opportunity for me because because of this right here, there is 1.6 billion in take-or-pay contracts that are already in place. 20 billion that are on the table with all these high-profile customers like Delta and SAS. Like, this is money sitting on the table, which is going to happen in 2024 once the net zero plant gets up and operational. And some of that is going to be some of that is going to happen in 2022 when their RNG plant goes online, and they already have a contract with BP to start selling them RNG. So the money's going to happen starting 2022. So me buying this right now for the price it is, unless Gevo incredibly screws everything up, which they could, unless that happens, this is money on the table. This is money waiting to be grabbed. So as far as right now, I have 340 shares of Gevo and potentially 200 more if I get a sign. As far as that, I'm good. I'm pretty happy with the shares I have, and I'm ready to make this cheddar when the cheddar happens. As far as everything else goes, everything seems to be going well. I've doubled my money with Facebook which is always good news. Cloudera, I'm just waiting on this to go private so I can get my $16 per share so I can buy something else. Maybe Palantir with it, but we'll see what price Palantir is trading at once Cloudera goes private. Everything else is going fine. I don't really have too much to talk about as far as news. Revolve, it's, the share price has dropped. It's seemingly for no reason because Revolve had a fantastic earnings. But one thing I do want to point out with Revolve real quick before I wrap up the video is that Revolve, as much as I love the company and as much as I love 335% gains, I'll be the first to admit right now, Revolve's share price is overvalued. Now, that doesn't mean anything for long-term investors like me who are going to hold this stock for 5 years. But at this moment in time, I do believe this share price is overvalued. So I'm not surprised to see this stock price, shoot down as much as it is, especially in this, overvalued market. And lastly, my crypto. So I haven't bought any more Ethereum since June 21st. But I mean, I'll be happy to report that I'm up 40% by the month. I'm at $1,116.48. That's like over $300 worth of profit. So, but anyways, take care, have a good day, and eat your vegetables.